day, this is Nation Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. How have we been? As for we over here, we've been doing perfectly alright. Let's go straight to the matter of the day, and without much equivocation. I would love to talk about Abdulrasheed Bawa. I'm bringing Abdulrasheed Bawa into limelight today because I noticed that not lots of people knew the sins of Abdulrasheed Bawa. Right, so he was seen somehow as a victim of political war or a victim of political misunderstanding. Let me say, yes, and that is what lots of Nigerians have seen it as till date, until his release from the detention or the custody of the Department of the State Security, DSS. Now, Abdulrasheed Bawa came up like a savior in the commission, in the EFCC, just when he was needed most. And we all saw it as one smart appointment from former President Muhammadu Buhari. He was supposed to come to cleanse the commission of lots of miscreants and fraudulent officers, all right? But from this expose, we could categorically conclude that Abdulrasheed Bawa's administration as the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission proved to be one of the most corrupt, maybe after Nuhu Ribadu's administration as EFCC chairman. I have an expose that will explain this and tell you why, so you will understand why I see it this way. Now, that's aside, Abdulrasheed Bawa was arrested, suspended, arrested, and then was kept in detention for a long while, and then finally released from DSS custody. Nobody has a grip on what he really did. We all know that he had squabbles with the governor of Zamfara State, the former governor of Zamfara State, where he was being accused of demanding for some millions of dollars in order to squash off the case involving the then or the former governor. All right. Now, even if Bello Matawale did not come out to say what he said, but Abdulrasheed Bawa gave him a reply that seemed like he was actually guilty. He said, "Nobody's hands are clean." That was the response he gave to the former governor of Zamfara State. All right. Let's go past that. He was arrested, nobody knew his offenses, and he's yet to be pushed to court officially, right? But we noticed that there were some, irreconcilable transactions in the EFCC, and there were some hands, lots of hands, accusing fingers pointing at Abdulrasheed Bawa, aside the one from Zamfara State. So I would love you to go with me as we make this expose count, all right? Please. This is the first step. I will bring more as time goes on. But this is the real Abdulrasheed Bawa. Lots of fraudulent activities he carried out in the background. More will come your way. But for now, let us go together with this expose. Abdulrasheed Bawa, the former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, was saddled with the responsibility to investigate and prosecute lots of fraudulent cases and money laundering activities, of which Bola Ahmed Tinubu's case was one in 2021. According to reports from the commission, Abdulrasheed Bawa did not pay attention to the files that included Bola Ahmed Tinubu's name due to other frivolities that took away his mind. Sources revealed that Abdulrasheed Bawa, the then EFCC chairman, sat off the files and played ping pong. Instead, Bawa was busy collecting bribes from lots of politicians who had cases with the commission, even people who had trials on board and people who were in power. It was alleged that Abdulrasheed Bawa went further to collect billions of naira from lots of politicians, especially those who were leaving office. When Bola Tinubu finally emerged as president in 2023, he did not only sack Abdulrasheed Bawa due to his misconduct during his time as EFCC chairman, but went further to recover over $60 million cash that Bawa had kept in several houses in Abuja. Aside from the fact that Bawa's name came up in the Godwin Emefiele case, lots of misdemeanors and lots of accusing fingers have been pointed at the former EFCC chairman of being the most corrupt EFCC chairman in a long while and chairing the most corrupt commission in Nigeria's history. The EFCC chairman allegedly auctioned seized properties worth billions of naira to himself. And sources in the commission even revealed that he sold a house worth 5 billion naira in the High-Bro Maitama area to his girlfriend for a paltry 45 million naira. Abdulrasheed Bawa, who has a younger brother in the EFCC, were allegedly said to be in this hanky-panky game for a long while, since Abdulrasheed Bawa took over the helm of affairs as EFCC chairman. During their days in detention with the Directorate of Research Security, these two brothers, Abdulrasheed Bawa and his own younger brother, were alleged to have been spitting out millions of dollars until they were released from the DSS detention recently. This goes further to depict that, as earlier stated by people in the commission and close sources to Abdulrasheed Bawa, his administration as EFCC chairman stood to be one of the most corrupt administrations under any EFCC chairman after Nuhu Ribadu. Okay, that's that. Abdulrasheed Bawa had a brother in the commission that always did his biddings alongside other followers of his. Every boss or every chairman heading such a commission or such an agency must have people or must have his subordinates support him or work for him. So that is not a new thing. But the fact that there are proofs to show that his administration proved to be one of the most corrupt is overwhelming. Yes, we all thought he was going to be the Messiah that would replicate it close to what Nuhu Ribadu did in the commission until he turned rogue, you know. But we saw that Abdulrasheed Bawa became something else. Well, where he is now at home, cooling off his nerves and his knuckles and his knees. But I just hope he prays so fervently that the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu don't take up his case again, because more things will come against Abdulrasheed Bawa and Godwin Emefiele in no time. Secondly, let me move to something happening in Imo State. Honorable Ikenga Ugo Chinyere has exposed the election rigging in various wards and local government areas where Governor Hope Uzodinma emerged controversially victorious, showing proofs of how the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, helped Hope Uzodinma rig elections in these places. Please stay tuned.
Before, if not 3 or 2. But when you accredit 1 and your vote is 500 and he says score 540, that's madness. And I'll give you some few examples for you to understand. Just 7 examples for you to understand. And I want Nigerians who are also watching us to go to www.inecelectionresult.ng and also see for themselves. You go to a place like Izuogu Ward 1. Accreditation is 1. One accreditation by the Beavers.
One person.
Now look at the vote scored by Uzodinma. The vote scored by the total vote cast, the vote scored by APC is 275. 1 accredited. And I will take it later, you go and check it. And in this particular area, the total number of registered voters we have here is 323. The people that voted is 328. 323, 320 voted. 3. And we made the investigation. About 5 people have died in this particular location. So how did you arrive at this nonsense and you call it election result? Is that how you win? Now you go to a place like Omuma, where the governor comes from. Now look at the number accredited by the Beavers is 13. The vote the governor is scoring here is 400. Is this what you call defeating of PDP? Now you go to a place like Okigwe. You know what is happening in Okigwe? The insecurity, people have fled their homes. Okigwe is turning the highest number ever in Imo history. Now, in this particular area, they call Amori. Look at the vote scored. 509. Accreditation 0. Nobody was accredited. You can see there's no accreditation figure up here. Nobody was accredited. And then you see 500 as vote cast. You go to a place like Obowo, Otoko, Okolonaoho, or what they call it. Vote accredited is 10. Look at the vote the governor is scoring. 927. 10 accredited. Score 927. This is madness. You don't declare me as an election. It will be insulting to people who believe in election. Go to Ndiheme in Arondizog. Here, no accreditation at all. And what is the vote is scoring? 750. People, people are called criminals, gathered and concocted figures and force it to be announced. You can't call it election. It's a crime scene. Both the collection officers and those who were involved in this election by now are supposed to be arrested in any decent country. You go to December Tokobo 012, vote accredited is 83. What are they scoring? 459. And the last one from the same Otoko 007 polling unit in Obo, accredited voters is 73. They are scoring 599. So how do you not say that he beat anybody?
All right. That was Ugochinyere there, Ikenga Ugochinyere, with the explanations and analysis. Not just because he's from the opposition, but because he puts the people's welfare at hand. All right. Yes, he's after the people's welfare, and he needs to really make these things count over the years that he's going to spend in the National Assembly, because that will make him relevant. He has been doing good. Let us forget the fact that he's from the opposition party for now, but the truth has to be told. Hope Uzodinma's rigging process in the elections, in the off-cycle elections on Saturday, the 11th day of November, 2023, cannot be overemphasized. All right, he did, or he made lots of, unconstitutional, movements electorally and politically and electorally that were not even worthy to be said of a sitting governor. All right. So, and lots of evidences that have come out, not just from Honorable Ikenga Ugochinyere, but from other people of Imo State. Well, I have said times that number that this government is the one of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the one of the APCs. So I doubt if little or something will be done about Hope Uzodinma until he leaves office. But I would always remind you, the people have power in their hands, and only them can take away bad leadership. All right. Thank you so much for paying attention to that. Finally, since the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there have been lots of expectations in the oil sector due to his campaign processes and his manifesto over time. Although he has come up to, countless times reassure Nigerians of lots of vague and fake promises. But that aside, all right, since his inauguration, there were expectations on the oil sector, and people needed to see an impact in the area of oil production, refinery rehabilitation, removal of fuel subsidy, and them complementing with other subsidies and all that. Okay, but over time we have seen that the fuel or the petroleum sector has drastically fallen, and instead of recording a progress or a sort of progress over time, we've seen a fall, a very, very big fall in lots of activities, a big rise in fuel pump price, and which has impacted negatively into, or who transitioned into a sort of hardship on the lives of average Nigerians. Okay, so I would avail or make available one Mr. Frank Abiodun. Mr. Frank Abiodun is a macroeconomic analyst and a publisher also with Business Day newspaper. All right. Now, Frank Abiodun is of the opinion that so far what he has been able to see in the oil sector after the expectations people had on Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, what he has been able to see so far has been a sort of dancing around edges, okay, that the government and the NNPC have been doing. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited have been dancing around edges without, bringing out the main problem in the oil sector. So, according to Frank Abiodun, he feels that the NNPCL should be cleansed thoroughly of fraudulent people and dubious officers. Please stay tuned for Abiodun Frank.
I think it's a mixed bag of sorts. We have seen the president, and rightly so, engage with his counterparts around the world, whether it's in India, whether it's in Saudi Arabia. So that's good. I think the president must be seen to be the chief salesman, for Nigeria. And he has to be out there. There is also the announcement that he's on his way to Germany for the G20 engagement with Africa. That's quite good. You know, you have to be at the table. If you are not there, no one is going to speak for you. So that's good. I think the only problem is that these engagements need better coordination. The messaging needs to be tight and proper. I think in some cases you have seen messages go out and then you come back only to see that nothing really was achieved. I think that's problematic. We need to begin to now show signs that Nigeria is open for business, not just talking about it. We need, for instance, 6 months after the inauguration of this president, one major area that Nigerians expected to see impact is in the area of oil production. So far, I think we are just dancing around the edges. NNPC that got us into this mess needs to be cleaned up. I think there needs to be a new leadership enthroned at NNPC, a leadership that is result-oriented, not giving excuses, a leadership that appreciates that Nigeria's economy has been brought to its knees, partly by the massive failure of the state-owned oil company. We are not saying that, and foreign investors are watching. When you see things happening today at meetings around the world, foreign investors will come to listen to the story about Nigeria. After the story is told, they go back. They are still waiting for major signs that Nigeria is ready to engage with the world. So far, I don't think that persuasion is ringing as loud as it should.
All right, that was the analyst there. Excellent analysis from Abiodun Frank. Before this video, I said all that needed to be said, and I will not say much. All right, the oil sector is one important place we need to improve in this country, and if we don't do that back at home, we are going to really understand that Nigeria needs a sort of let's say not just new governance, but a revamp. Okay, a revamp in the aspect of politics and in the aspect of the way we see our economy. The sooner we do this, the better for everyone, both at home and in diaspora. Thank you so much for paying attention this far. Please, I would always love to applaud and compliment all our viewers. You've been doing well over time. Please, don't relent in your support. Don't forget to like, share these videos, watch till the end, and if you're watching me for the first time, tap the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that when I drop a new update, you will be able to see me firsthand. Wouldn't you love that? Please, see you next time. Bye.